Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now after having looked at the Spectrum version of KikStart 2, which was a request by YouTuber Andrea Wyatt, now I'm taking a look at the Amstrad CPC version. Now I believe Andrea actually had the Amstrad CPC as the computer she grew up with back in the day. So this is I believe the version with which she is most familiar. Define keys for player 1. Accelerate, decelerate, wheel. There's an I in wheelie. Oh, it's not letting me use Q, so let's try. Accelerate. Not I've got a player 2, but so you got the same icon. Yeah, those icons are even less clear than they are in the Spectrum version, but it looks like it. But it looks like it's still got the same lettering of the courses used in the Spectrum version, because I noticed the A B C D E there, which is just as it was on the Spectrum version. So I'm the uppermost one. Oh god! Well, that falling animation is nowhere near as smooth as it is on the Spectrum version. Look at that. That's well jerky. What? Scrolling's pretty. Oh, for God's sake! Scrolling's pretty. Oh, goodness me! Yeah, the scrolling's pretty smooth. Finally, I got to say it without falling flat on my arse. What? They didn't even touch me. Ugh. Oh dear, this CPU controlled opponent's beaten me. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, I got absolutely slaughtered. And that's only course A. Now on course B. Oh god. I was kind of hoping that the CPC version would have sound, but like the Spectrum version I've just reviewed, it's deathly silent. What? I held down jump I did exactly the same as I did on those other jumps, and you just and again it didn't do anything. What? Oh god! Why is a jump not working all of a sudden? That's mud, so it just slows you down. Oh my god! I actually managed to do a jump without going arse over tit. There, got a mud patch in front of us and some divots in the ground, so that's going to be interesting. Oh my god. Come on. God, that was lucky. Oh my goodness me. I think in this version it's a little bit overzealous with the falling. I mean, it seems like if you'd so much as trip over a blade of grass or just slightly poke a millimetre of a wheel off, you just fall over. What? How am I going to get over that? I mean, it plonked me right in front of the water there. There was no way I could have built enough speed up to... Oh my god, man. Oh, flipping hell. What? I jumped! The jump button's so unresponsive. Oh, God, again, it put me right in front of a blooming divot. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I have to slow down. I have to slow down over the fences because otherwise I just fall right through them. Oh, great logs. What? Oh, my God. Yeah. Andrew actually told me that Zypho, another YouTuber who also specialises in Amstrad, the Amstrad CPC. Why did I fall off there? It was just solid brick. It was really struggling with KikStart 2, and now I've played this version. I have to agree that this is nowhere near as playable as the Spectrum version. You just seem to fall off every 5 minutes. I even fell through solid brick then. I jumped. The jumping is really unresponsive in this. That's not good. I mean, sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't want to play ball. Oh my God, I've actually beaten him. I actually managed to come first in a race. Yeah. So that's KikStart 2 for the Amstrad CPC. Graphics are nice and colourful, a little bit blocky. The animation of the biker falling off is really quite bad. It's literally just a 2 or 3 frame animation, and there's no in between, so it's incredibly jumpy animation. It doesn't look very good considering the animation elsewhere is pretty good. The scrolling's smooth. Judging by a lot of the Amstrad CPC titles I've seen being played online, it seems like scrolling can be a bit of a sticky issue for the CPC. Quite often they get around it with titchy tiny playing areas, or they just have flick screen or push scroll, which leads to rather mixed results. But the smoke scrolling, this is quite smooth, and the playing area is roughly half the screen, so they managed to get a good balance of good scrolling and decent sized playing area without adversely affecting the exterior. And obviously the CPC doesn't have the attribute limitation of the Spectrum, so there's none of the color clash issues that version had. Sound, unfortunately, as per the Spectrum version, there's not even an engine rumble. It's deathly silent, and that really is a shame because I have heard the Amstrad do some pretty decent sound, and it would have been nice if there could have even been some music. But this is a budget title, so maybe maybe I shouldn't really complain about not having music. But the fact there's not even an engine, any engine noise, is kind of disappointing. Gameplay, though, I said about the Spectrum version, it's going to be more fun if you have a second player playing alongside you, and that's even more the case here, because even though I wasn't doing anything wildly different with regards to what I know that you can and can't go over quickly or must go over quickly and so forth, and what is considered essentially a solid object, I still seemed to be falling off rather too much. And there, as you saw, there was a point where I even fell through a solid brick, which makes no sense. And I was even falling off even when just about a third of the front wheels was overhanging. That doesn't make a great deal of sense. And the jump button, which is absolutely crucial in this, just seemed to sometimes not respond, and that makes the game extremely frustrating. I mean, it didn't always respond in the Spectrum version, but the problem seems to be even more exacerbated in this version. Yes, it may have the level editor that was also in the Spectrum version, but unfortunately, it's not going to alter the fact that regardless of how well designed your courses are, if you're falling through and falling off all and sundry just because a tiny bit of your tyre is protruding over the edge, then it's just going to be just as unresponsive. And I still found some similar game design issues, like the bits where I was plonked on a flat path and was right in front of a divot or even a body of water, and there was no way I could build enough speed to get over the water without falling off. I mean, they should have thought about that a bit better. Yes, you can get around that problem with the editor, as I said in the Spectrum version, but even for that, you do expect the default tracks to be better, not have issues like that to make them incredibly unfair. And there were some hit detection issues. I mean, there was a point where I fell off due to hitting a flame that's at the point of when I supposedly passed through it, the flame's area. The actual flame itself was nowhere near me. So yeah, even though this is a budget title, that all of those additional frustrations will mean that it's going to get a lower score. 3 out of 10 for a KikStart 2 on the CPC. It's just way too frustrating and suffers from some particularly irritating game design issues and some frustrating flaws. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.